Hi, this is Shu with a review of the Jumpman 2021. I gave high praise to Jumpman 2020 for being a very huge surprise hit. First of all, let's look at the design. It's very much similar to the Jordan 35, just like how the Jumpman 2020 was similar to the Jordan 34s. It does not have a midfoot shank or plate. Instead, it has the side panel, which is something similar that they've used in the Jumpman Diamonds, but of course it was not a whole chunky plate, but rather little diamond shapes that stretch all the way to the midfoot. So if you felt this having some plastic substances here was chafing on your skin or provided some irritation, then this is what you were looking for. But I do feel that this could have went up a little bit further up to provide a little bit more of a stronger support resistance to inversion, or perhaps they could bring back the monkey paws they used in the past alpha projects. The monkey paws move back and forth, but not side to side. So bring that back, Nike. Anyway, this is a budget model, and it's shockingly really good, just like the 2020s. It delivers. It has a nice little combination of materials. I don't know what this is called. Some sort of a textile mesh that feels rigid, which is good. Another suede type of leather material, and this seemingly recycled hish-hash mesh of a paper that's usually used in some art classes, I suppose. That's just nice. I don't know exactly what these wires do. I feel like they don't really serve a true purpose, but it's a nice little design, and it's better than nothing, I suppose. The tongue, it's beautiful. Black surface, black background with a Jumpman logo in red. You can never go wrong with that. Same here in the heel, wonderful. Speaking of the heel, it feels like a low cut runner. That's how low this heel area is. So you feel a lot more freedom there and no irritation of anything cutting or chafing into your Achilles. While at the same time around it, it's high enough to provide some level of support that wraps around your ankle, but at the same time not being such a high hiking boot. So it's like a mid-low cut with a super low cut at the heel. Adequate padding around all over, nothing too intense. The heel cup is there to get the job done, pretty rigid. The outsole pattern is a bit of a disappointment because they are very much similar to the shockingly disappointing outsole pattern that's been overused in Adidas models, as you can tell. But the difference here is that this is a lot sharper than this. It's a lot more flat and wide. This is a lot more sharper, meaning it's not going to be as durable, but then it's going to get the better job done in terms of traction. But I do wish they brought back this more closely knitted, sharper, tinier grooves that they've had in the Jumpman 2020s. Instead of just being around here, I wish this was all around. Especially when you put logos and stuff around in the areas where you might need traction, this could be very slippery. So don't ever put it anywhere near the forefoot or the heel area. So that's traction for you. It's definitely better than the Adidas models, but it could have been better. I feel like the 2020 had better traction. The midsole material, it's probably some type of EVA or Phylon, but it's a little bit denser and a little bit firmer than the Jumpman 2020s. You might like that. Personally, I like it as soft as it comes. And also, they got rid of what used to be a little bit of a circular cutout or a hole here that provides the additional level of area for the foam to expand, so better shock absorptions, improved cushioning. That nice little touch, they forgot about that, so that's a little disappointing, and you can feel the difference in terms of a heel impact protection or cushioning. It does make a huge difference. That small little circular cutout, it's a huge difference there. And on the forefoot, you can see there's huge zoom air that you can feel and see on the forefoot. You do feel it working compared to bad models like the Zoom Freak 2s. This is like heaven, difference between heaven and hell. Zoom Freak 2 is the worst Nike shoe ever. The forefoot cushioning is much better than that. It's not as good as the Zoom Turbos that you feel in the Kyrie 6, because first of all, the zoom area is right here closer to the outsole rather than the insole or in the middle of the midsole. So they could have made a little bit of an adjustment there. I feel that 2020 had better zoom cushioning. You certainly feel that this is better shock impact absorption, but in terms of the softness you feel while you're pivoting or pressing on your forefoot, 2020 is a little bit better for me. So overall, this feels like a more rigid version that's more for heavier people, I guess, heavier players. The fit itself is amazing. The fit is such an improvement from 2020, because 2020, either you go up a whole size and you will still feel the side of the foot is a little bit narrow, but on the toe box there might be a little bit of excessive space. This one, I only needed to go up half a size and feel perfect fit. If you have really narrow foot, then maybe you should go true to size. But if you remember the 2020s, you would go up a few sizes and it will not work still. So this is certainly an improvement in that area. For the weight, it actually shows higher digits. I mean, for a size 9.5, it weighs about close to 400 grams, but it doesn't feel that heavy, so that's the main difference, I suppose. It's a nice little budget model. A different take on the 2020. The 2021 is better fit, cooler design, and a little bit of a rigid and disappointing midsole material compared to the 2020, but still better than in terms of the heel cushioning, because you're not gonna have any, you don't have any air or anything else in the heel, just the foam material. The foam material itself, in terms of the heel cushioning, it's much better than other conventional models out there with nothing in the heel, like the Kyrie 6, way better than Kyrie 6, way better than Zoom Freak 2, and slightly better than the Why Not Zero 2s and 3s.